Hi, it's Mike with AskTractorMike.com. I'm at my computer today and we're going to take a look at first quarter tractor sales, which are out from the Association of Equipment Manufacturers. Inventory is up and in some classes way up. Demand on most classes is down. Does that mean it's a buyer's market? Well, at first blush, it looks like it, but further analysis shows it's not as bad as it might look at first. Let's go to the computer and I'll tell you what the numbers say. Okay, so here are the numbers from the Association of Equipment Manufacturers who keep this data on U.S. tractor and combine sales from 2023 year to date through March. This number right here. These numbers are the important ones and how they compare to 2022. If you look at, and they call these two-wheel drive farm tractors, that's anything that's not articulated or not got tracks on it. Under 40 horsepower, the market is really down. In 2023, year to date, there have been 31,288 tractors sold under 40 horsepower versus 39,175 a year ago. That's a 20%, over a 20% drop. If you look at the mid-range tractors, 40 to 100, the sales figures are not as bad. 12,047 tractors sold year to date in March of 2023 versus 13,539 in 2022, or a drop of 11%. Now, the big tractors are actually bucking the trend. Year to date, there have been 5,210 tractors sold over 100 horsepower versus 4,952 a year ago, or a gain of 5%, 5.2%. So total tractor sales, all sizes, are down 15.8% from last year. And four-wheel drive tractor sales, big tractors they use in farming country, are up sharply. 898 have been sold year to date versus 596 a year ago, or over a 50% increase. Combine sales are down 49,443 versus 58,000, so a drop of 15.1%. So are we entering a buyer's market, especially on the tractors under 100 horse? Well, to get the real picture, you've got to factor in inventory. Inventory at the beginning of March of 2023 was 111,353 under 40 horsepower. Just remember that number for just a second, and let's go look at what it was in 2022. Well, here's a number from 2022. The inventory then was 58,758. Go back to 2023, and we've got like 90% more inventory, not quite double, but 90% more in 2023 than there was in 2022. Mid-range tractors, there's 34,727 in inventory. Remember that number. Let's go back to 2022, and that number was 18,030. So about a corresponding increase in inventory on the mid-range tractors as well. So inventory levels are way up. The big tractors, 8,975 in inventory beginning of March of this year. And a year ago, that number was 5,916. So all classes of tractors are up in inventory. And let's just look at the totals, and I haven't calculated this. Total farm tractors the 1st of March of 2023 was 155,575. And a year ago, that number was 82,988. So not quite double, but pretty darn close to 90% increase in total inventory of tractors. Now, does that mean we're in a buyer's market? Well, really, to understand these figures, you need to go back to before COVID. And let's compare the numbers we've got in 2023 to these numbers before COVID in March of 2019. Here's 2023 again. And if you look right here at the number of tractors in inventory under 40 horsepower, that number is 111,353. If you go back to the days before COVID, remember 111, that number was 98,286. So inventory is up, and I calculated that to be about 13% from 2019. Now you've also got to factor in where are sales compared to 2019 before COVID. Well, here's our number, 31,288 year-to-date sales through March in 2023. Compare that to 2019, 28,975. So sales are up, inventory's up. Well, how does that relate? Well, inventory is up. I calculated about 13% from where it was in 2019 and 2023. Sales are up 7%. So we are heading a little bit toward a buyer's market, but when you look at 2019 versus 2023, it's not as bad as when you compare 2023 to 2022. Now, in the bigger tractors and mid-range tractors, 34,727 was what was in inventory in 2023, 1st of March. You go back to 2019, that number was 37,076. So we actually have fewer tractors in the mid-range in inventory now than we had in 2019. And here's sales in 2019, year-to-date through March, 11,357. And in 2023, that number is 12,047. So what you'll see there is on the mid-range tractors, we've actually had an increase in sales, and we're still below inventory levels of 2019. So to kind of wrap this whole thing up, if you're buying a tractor, you're kind of back to where normal was in 2019. Inventory's up a little higher than it was, but demand is also up higher than it was before COVID. But the inventory levels are way higher than they were in 2022. And I would say all the manufacturers and dealers are getting a little nervous. And I think as a customer, your buying power is greater now than it was, a whole lot greater now than it was a year ago. So if you're shopping for a tractor, finding a low rate and negotiating a good price is a possibility in 2023. Thanks for watching.